Did you record?
No, not yet.
Right, welcome to the Targeted Podcast, episode 22. I am Sahi. That is Nicholas. It's just us two today. We're supposed to talk about monsters.
Well, we're still gonna talk about it. I mean,
We'll talk about it now. You don't want to wait till Omar comes on?
No, I can at least give my opinion on it.
Okay, fine.
And then I'll rag on Omar later when he talks about how much it broke his heart to watch this slapstick comedy that was Godzilla vs. Kong.
Okay, well, if we're going to be talking about the monsters, that's going to be all you, because I haven't watched it, and I'm not really inspired to watch it, to be honest with you. But yeah, so episode 22. Guess we're going to be talking about, Kong versus Godzilla?
Is it Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Kong?
Who cares?
How do you know who gets top billing? See, I would have just did alphabetical order, right? Because they're both like major properties.
I think it's Kong versus Godzilla. I think it's Kong versus Godzilla.
I've been saying it wrong like since I watched it.
Actually, I'm lying. It's Godzilla versus Kong.
All right, they went with the alphabetical order. I know they did.
Okay, yeah, super important details right there. Godzilla versus Kong. So Nicholas reviewed Godzilla versus Kong. Then we're gonna review Mortal Kombat, which I just watched. So that was interesting.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Review Godzilla vs. Kong, review Mortal Kombat, review the last episode of Falcon Winter Soldier, which I am excited to review. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the battle of the two monsters. I think it's pretty much Jurassic World, the end of Jurassic World, right? Where the two.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a crossover of some type, and somehow like the T-Rex and the Raptor were exposed to atomic something or other and grew to the size of Godzilla, and Kong could take on, like, who knows? Maybe the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the Dragon Zord. Who knows? But so like if you saw the first two movies, I feel like that, like again, like Omar has said, I'm pretty much agree with a lot of what Omar said. I wasn't as vested in it. But like
so broken. He was like, "Oh my god, it sucks."
Yeah, well, it was, man. But like, if you look at the first one, it sets the stage very well, right? A lot of good backstory, and and pretty good action or whatever. Obviously, like you kind of wanted to see more of Godzilla, and I think that being the first movie, right, they didn't have enough budget to have the special effects to show more of the fight or the fights, right? So that's why you kind of waited to the end of that. And then you see like peaks of Godzilla. So I got that. So then the second one kind of, I think it did a good job building on top of the first movie, kind of kept the same like vibe as the first one, where it's like kind of serious, but you know that you're dealing with something ridiculous, but if they're still taking it seriously. But this one, you could tell they had a bigger budget because there were more monsters fighting. And I personally felt like the action was better. So I was looking forward to the third one because I was like, if they keep the same semi-serious vibe and just up the action, you're gold, right? But it didn't do that. So this time, it was like, I feel like they did a Thor Dark World type deal, right? So they tried to make it epic, but then they inserted comic relief. And the guy, it's the guy from I don't know if you watch the show Atlanta.
I know
a while back on FX. I think he played like the rapper Paperboy, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
So he's in there and he's like a conspiracy theorist or whatever. So he's like he has a podcast and he's like, coming up with all these crazy conspiracy theories about the monsters and what people are trying to do with them and what this company is trying to do with the monsters and why they're building these facilities all over the place. And he's trying to figure out why Godzilla is just going crazy, like it's destroying various cities like all over the place. And so like when you see him, he makes his way into this facility And right away, as soon as he started talking, I was like, this is a totally different movie because he just had that like silly lines and just he's just like silly, he's kind of paranoid and crazy, but he kind of handed up too much. He did too much with it. Like in the first movie, I think Bryan Cranston's character was kind of like the little, spooked out character a little bit, right? So his was a little different vibe. He know he's crazy, but you kind of felt sorry for him, right? This dude, he's crazy, but it's like, when is Godzilla just going to eat you? You know what I mean? Like he just kind of got tired of him. Mm-hmm. Then you have, you had him, you had Millie Bobby, I think her name is Millie Bobby Brown. Her character is the daughter of the guy from the second movie. So you remember the guy who, you didn't watch the second movie, so.
No, I didn't. Yeah, no, I watched.
Okay, in the second movie, they have this device, basically where they're able to mimic the sound wave or the frequency of the sound or of the sound that the alpha monster would make. Mm-hmm. Right. So whenever you use that machine, the monster will like kind of react to it, and then they'll give you like some respect because you're, making this, you're letting this, frequency or this sound out of them.
Okay.
So that's just from like the second movie or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So come back to the third movie, the same guy, now he has a daughter. She is kind of following along with this guy's podcast and his conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. So, and then she has a friend. So it's like, it's sort of like that's Team Godzilla. They're trying to figure out what's going on with Godzilla. Then on the other side, you have Team Kong, right? So there's the character, there's another woman who's been kind of like Kong's caretaker. So in this movie, they've moved Kong from Skull Island to this giant facility to kind of keep an eye on him.
How'd they do that, by the way? How'd they do that, by the way?
They drugged him, flew him out, But Godzilla, because of Godzilla's rampage, they're afraid that he's gonna go kill King Kong, right? Mm-hmm. So they're trying to protect him. Kong's getting upset. He only communicates like with this one little girl who's also a resident of the island. She's deaf, so he knows sign language. Mm-hmm. Yeah, her, him, and then you have another guy who is basically he's the person who came up with the Hollow Earth theory, right? Mm-hmm. So he's a guy that like made wrote all these books about the Hollow Earth theory. Nobody believed him. So that's Team Godzilla. So basically, the whole movie is just...
That was Team Kong, right?
I'm sorry, Team Kong. Yeah. So the whole movie is just about bringing these groups of people together and these monsters together, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's like two plot threads. So there's one side trying to figure out what's going on with Godzilla. The other side is trying to protect King Kong, but also use King Kong to get back down to Hollow Earth. So the company, this giant corporation or whatever that has all these shady dealings.
Monarch?
No, it's called Apex.
Oh,
Apex.
Okay.
So they pay the Hollow Earth scientists to go with, King Kong and some other folks. They pay him to move King Kong out to they found like an opening in the earth that will lead you to the Hollow Earth area. So they go in there, they're looking for this energy source. So they take King Kong over that way. And so, I mean, that's pretty much it. You follow them to go to Hollow Earth and you discover like some things in there. And then the people that are following Godzilla, they're just trying to figure out like what's making them go crazy.
Wait, how did they get to Hollow Earth through Kong? Was it like some pathway or just...
Yeah. So there's an opening that's been discovered in I think it was in the Arctic, right? There's an opening that's been discovered out there. And basically like they set him down there to see if he will like recognize, how animals have like an innate sense of where to go, mm-hmm. To get back home or whatever. So they set him down to see if he will find his way back home. which he does. And actually, the journey to Hollow Earth was kind of cool because it's like you go through this path, and then it's like the gravity like reverses or whatever, it does something crazy. So you see them like deal with all of that. So then you get to the point where you have Godzilla in this one city. He's still going crazy. And then you have King Kong is back in Hollow Earth. He actually has a throne in Hollow Earth. Like, don't ask me how like this, I guess this family built this throne and he's in like this giant in this mountain or whatever, right? And so you get up there and now, and at that point, like Godzilla has like somehow is able to trace the energy signature of King Kong. And you remember how in the trailer there was like an axe with one of Godzilla's back dorsal fins in it?
Yeah.
So he finds that weapon in Hollow Earth. And when he lifts it up and places it down in this place on the floor, it just activates. And somehow Godzilla is able to key in on the fact that one of his dorsal fins is activated from Hollow Earth. Who knows? This then prompts Godzilla to use his atomic breath to fire all the way down through the earth.
Okay.
Down to where King Kong and them are, and causes like this giant earthquake or whatever. So he just like drills down there with his atomic breath, and it's like all of a sudden like they know where each other is, where they each are. And then Godzilla like jumps up, climbs up and comes to challenge. King Kong jumps up to challenge Godzilla.
Okay.
And let me tell you something. So, I mean, obviously, like, nobody cares about anything that's going on until you see the fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fight was hilarious, okay? So the fight, like, it started out, like, they're really going at it or whatever, and you see King Kong kind of using, like, more of his intelligence or whatever to try to trick Godzilla so he can, like, hit him with the axe and stuff. And he hits him with the axe, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like, Godzilla like curb stomps him. I mean, it was like he dislocated his shoulder and everything. Godzilla tore him up.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, he tore him up. I mean, but you kind of he knew that was gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
So it gets to the point where like Godzilla is just like, he has him down. He's just like clawing up his chest, and King Kong is like backing up. You see like him making like this little sad face or whatever. And then Godzilla
a sad face.
Oh yeah. Like he's looking scared, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
And you see Godzilla like about to take like that last blow, and then he stops. He's like, it's almost like I could kill you, but now I'm the alpha, so that's it. I'm leaving now. Like I'm the alpha. You can just sit there and die. So Godzilla is King Kong is pretty much sitting there like bleeding out. Boom. Cut to Apex Corporation. The CEO's like, yo, now I have, humans are now back. We are going to be the Apex Predators once again. Here is my Mecha Godzilla that I've created to challenge Godzilla. So once King Kong is down, here comes Mecha Godzilla. That fight was hilarious because it was like the only thing that the director could think of to do was have the giant robot ram Godzilla's face into every building in the city. Like that was the entire fight.
Oh my god. Oh.
So I was just sitting there just laughing. My wife was like, what's so funny? I was like, are you watching this? This is the choreography. It was just like, boom, boom. That was it. So then,
it's finally, like a Fast and Furious choreography, like the way it's very like just simple,
I'm just throwing you into stuff. That was the entire.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So then King Kong gets up and somehow he wasn't able to challenge Godzilla at all. But then he gets up with his axe and just chops up this giant robot like it's nothing almost. And that's the end.
What?
Yeah. So after he defeats like that Mecha Godzilla, they send King Kong. King Kong goes back to Hollow Earth. Godzilla, I guess, has his area, the rest of the planet pretty much. And the end.
So okay, so so my understanding is yada 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 yada. Godzilla fights King Kong. Godzilla beats King Kong. Then Mechagodzilla comes in and is like, "Don't forget about me."
Yeah. So you find out like during the movie. I mean, obviously, like I glossed over a lot, right? But basically, the reason why Godzilla was rampaging all across the globe is because the Apex Corporation, while they were in the process of building this robot, whatever they were doing, they were releasing some sort of signal that was just driving Godzilla nuts, like a dog whistle, does to dogs or whatever.
I see.
So yeah, it was. I mean, it was. At the end of the day, it was a very simple popcorn flick. Like I compare it to. You remember the first Fantastic Four movie?
Is that the one with Jessica Alba?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Very simple, very dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want something loud and just a quick popcorn flick,
yeah,
you can throw it on.
Yeah, I think people rated that movie really well, and I mean, I haven't watched it, so I can't rate it. I mean, you and Omar are kind of lackluster about it. I think people are just tired, and we're in a pandemic. We just want any.
Yeah. I mean, the reason they rated it high was just because like the general fan isn't like Omar. They don't care about the Hollow Earth and the deeper story. They just want to see the monsters beat the crap out of each other. That's pretty much what this movie was. That's what
very simplified version. Simplified movie. Which I mean,
I honestly think the second movie is probably my personal favorite. Personally.
Yeah. Well, I only watched the Kong and then Skull Island, and I wasn't a fan of Skull Island. I remember Kong. Bryan Cranston was awesome. So that's pretty much that. Okay, well, thank you for that.
So for anyone who hasn't seen this movie, obviously I probably spoiled the whole thing. But if you have a good sound system in the house, give it a go.
Yeah. So Mo, a friend of ours, was saying, you should watch it if you're going to go to the theater, which I'm not going to do, or if you have a good sound system, which I don't have. So I'm like, well, there's really no point in me watching this movie then.
But don't you have like some high end like headphones and stuff, right?
Yeah, those are
Don't
headphones.
you have some high headphones?
Like my Bose headphones?
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't.
It'll give you the same effect. But I'm telling, like the sounds were, I mean, it was good.
Okay.
It was good. I will give you that.
I might check it out. All right. So and that was our Kong versus Godzilla. I'm sorry, Godzilla versus Kong review. So
I know Omar's gonna slay me in the next episode.
Omar's gonna want to talk about it. Omar's gonna come in and want to talk about it. I was like, nope, we've already talked about it. We were done. We're past that.
I probably gave the all-time worst synopsis of a movie, but that's what happens when you watch something and you're just like,
you just don't care.
I really did. Like, and the first time I fell asleep on it.
No care for it whatsoever. Yeah, you can tell how Omar was super into it when he was like going through the trailer breakdown with no sound.
Right? Because he had all these theories. I think, this is the outer skin of Mechagodzilla. Nah, bro.
All right. Let's talk about another movie I just watched. Simplified.
Mortal Kombat.
So let me first tell you this before
that movie's still better. Huh? Yes, to answer everyone's question, that is still the original is still a better movie. Just in case
the very first one, I would agree. Yes. Even though or rating was whitewashed, but anyway, in the first one. But anyway, I agree. The first one was better. I was when I was going to get my haircut today. I was driving and I was listening to NPR, right? and these people were reviewing like I don't know if you guys listen to NPR, but it's a
That's what old people listen to. See,
yeah, true. I'm getting up there in age. Yeah. But it's like they were reviewing this movie, like they were reviewing like an Oscar film or something, or like a Nolan movie. Like they're trying to get like an all like detail and in depth into the movie or whatever. And like, oh, and I like this piece and the storyline and the character development. And I watched the movie, it's like, what are you guys talking about? This movie is not meant to be good. It's supposed to be a very simplified movie. And
yeah, it's supposed to be kind of cheesy.
it's supposed
Yeah,
to be very cheesy, which is what kind of what they accomplished. And let me tell you the funny part. Just let me tell you these NPR guys. I love listening to NPR, but like these guys, they're clearly trying to pander to like a younger audience because the moderator was like, "Yeah, the first two movies were terrible," and then one of the commenters was like, "What? The first movie wasn't terrible at all. It's super great. It had like a great techno and this and this and this." And then the female
big
moderator
techno.
like it was a techno move. The techno music. Dun, 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 Mortal Kombat. That
Yeah,
music.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's like it made out it made popular one of the most popular techno musics in the 90s or whatever. And then the lady chimed in. The other moderator was like, yeah, it had this, and she's like, it also had John Claude Van Damme in it. So why wasn't it? Of course, it's a good movie. And I sat there, and I was like, huh. John Claude Van Damme wasn't in Mortal Kombat. Like this,
Right.
that's you're talking about Street Fighter, and the guy corrected was like, "You mean Street Fighter?" He was a Street Fighter. She says, "Oh yeah, Street Fighter." I'm like, I'm done with this movie right here. You can't even don't even know which movie you're reviewing. But anyway, let's go ahead and review Mortal Kombat. Um, I just watched it like about an hour ago, and I mean, eh, it's a video game movie. Those are usually aren't that good. Um, and like this one is kind of the same. I feel like they took away the tournament aspect of it ish, right? They mentioned the tournament and they kind of had a tournament at the end ish.
But
But
there was a reason for that though. There was a reason for that.
well, they gave a reason for that. They gave a
That's what
reason.
I'm saying. So
They
I
gave.
wasn't mad that there was not a tournament
I mean,
because
I think,
the plot of the movie is that Shang Tsung is trying to make it so there is not a tournament. So I was okay with that.
but he also won 9 tournaments in a row, so why not just fight another tournament? Like, I get you're trying to thin the herd a little bit, but like,
Why leave it up to chance? I mean,
yeah,
hey,
that's eventually what he said, though, right? So anyway, the movie starts off, and it's in like I guess so. Sub Zero is I think is speaking Mandarin, and
no. Sub Zero speaking Japanese and Scorpion
Morpheus
are speaking
speaking
Chinese.
Mandarin. Hey,
Huh?
one was speaking Chinese, one was speaking Mandarin. I forgot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Scorpion was Japanese
Chinese.
and
That's why I said Sub Zero Mandarin.
Sub Zero was Japanese.
Sub Zero is Japanese, Scorpion's Mandarin. Okay, so
Yeah.
I mixed the two. So anyway, yeah, so it shows the would-be Scorpion like in the village. And by the way, I love the actor of Scorpion. By the way, he's a
Yeah.
very popular Japanese actor. Um, but like he shows him with his family, and like he tells his wife like I treasure you more than anything, and he walks to get more water. And at that moment, I'm like, yep, that family's gonna die, right then and there. The second that happens, like, yeah, so they're dead. And of course,
That opening is so good. The first 10 minutes of this movie, I
yeah,
felt like I was like, yo, I'm really in for something in to watch this movie. Like this is gonna be this is it. This is gonna be good.
I didn't feel that way, but I liked. I mean, it was a good opening. All right, so the fight scene was pretty good. They showed him like with his like this the kunai or whatever, and swinging and knocking out the blades, knocking out other individuals and whatnot. And I think either one of us is frozen or not.
We go.
Did you freeze or I freeze? Because you
You
froze.
did.
God damn it. I think it shows your internet connection is unstable right now, so probably I froze, which is embarrassing. But all right, so where did you lose me on?
You were talking about his weapon, which he was using like in the garden.
Yeah, he was using his weapon,
and he ended up just tying a rope to it.
Yeah, he tied a rope, and that's comes his like get over here later in the film. But he's using his weapon, like knocking down like Sub-Zero's clan or whatever.
The Lin Kuei.
Yeah, the Lin Kuei. So I haven't played Mortal Kombat in like forever, right? So I don't know about some of the backstories. So I didn't know about the Lin Kuei. Like I remember the first Mortal Kombat movies, and I remember like an older Mortal Kombat where they had like Chinook, like the Elder Gods and some of those people there. Like I think early 2000s, I think. And then I think I've seen videos from like the latest Mortal Kombat 10 or whatever. So which they have like Marine or whatever. But anyway, yeah. So the Lin Kuei. Then it pushes back to like today's world, right? And
so hold on real quick. So because the opening, like I said, like I'm so into the opening of the movie, I feel like it could have just been a Scorpion Sub-Zero movie because they're from like rival clans, right? And I guess given the time period, because I think it says 1600s and with one being Japanese and the other being Chinese, I'm guessing that they said it during. There was a time when like Japan invaded China, or something like that. I don't know the timing of it.
There was a time where Japan invaded China, but that was like during World War II. I don't know if there's another time frame that happened. So
I thought it was before. I don't know.
It may have been.
But,
I have to look at that. I know.
Yeah.
They've been rivals for a while, but yeah, Japan is known for like staying on its island, right? So I don't think it was like around that time that they invaded. But yeah, go for it.
It might not be, but at least according to the game, and I haven't played since I don't know 8 or 9. I don't know. But they're from rival clans, right? And just like in the game, like Sub-Zero like murdered his family and all that stuff. So I just thought that was dope the way they handled that. So yeah, you can go ahead. What happened?
My YouTube people started playing, but yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah. This is a mess. We're so professional here. So professional.
Terrible.
So, yeah. What? Okay, the next part of this movie, what happened? So yeah, we jump to like to modern time, and we see this new character, Cole Young, who I just don't care about. Like, who is this guy? Like,
this is where things went downhill. And his introduction is that he's a trash fighter.
Did you see the callbacks though? So like at the things like you didn't control the cage or whatever. If you or use your uppercut, which is what they refer to back in the end of the movie. But yeah, it's like he's getting beat up for some reason, and he's like a chosen character because it's part of his lineage and whatnot. And
Scorpion's lineage.
Yeah, so and Jack like finds him or whatever. And this is kind of where the movie starts like just callbacks, right? Like when Jack gets his arms like cut off, you're like, oh, that's how he gets his
arms. That was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
That part was good. That part was good.
Yeah. They somehow find Jack like later after he gets his arms cut off. I'm like, well, that's quick. So find Sonya, Kano. Kano was a little bit funny.
Kano was a scene stealer in every movie, in every
pretty much
every part he was in.
Pretty much. Oh yeah, I did. So there's a Mortal Kombat comeback where he like rips someone's heart out and brings it out, and that's like a fatality move, right? And he goes,
yeah,
boom, Kano wins. I'm like, Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
I appreciated that. I did.
So yeah, so then they go to like the Raiden's temple. They meet Liu Kang and Kung Lao. And what do you think about Liu Kang? There. That's it right
So
there.
it's not so much that I had a problem with the actor, but the little thing that it was some of the little mannerisms that he tried to give him. I was like, nah, like the little thing where he would like do something with his sash on his side when he was walking around. And Liu Kang didn't annoy me. Honestly, Liu Kang didn't annoy me until he had a fight scene. Because now I'm like, dude, you're supposed to be you're supposed to be the guy, right?
He's the chosen one in the other movies, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to be the guy, and you're getting your butt handed to you. And I think that's one of the issues that I had with this movie. Is in the fight scenes, right? They're well choreographed, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought they were.
But the thing is that there was never any. It didn't get me into the fight like I thought it would, right? Because a good fight scene should make it so that you're like, oh man, who's gonna win, right? But this movie choreographed the fights in such a way it's like somebody was always getting dominated. So when they first started fighting, the Earthlings are getting dominated. They're just getting dominated. Then they figure something out, and then they come back and dominate the bad guy. There was no back and forth. The only time you saw that was with Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Yeah.
That's kind of that annoyed me right there.
Yeah. They did show Kung Lao, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. There's Kung Lao.
Kung Lao that was one of my favorite characters back in the day, so I did appreciate that.
I did see him kill that flying chick that they had in the movie, like the film. I don't know, like she just showed up for like 2 seconds, and he kills her in like a second. And he goes,
is she a character?
Huh?
Is she a character?
I don't know. Probably, maybe. I don't know. I haven't played Mortal Kombat in a while.
I
don't know. It doesn't seem like she was the way they showed up for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like he heals her later in the film was like flawless victory or whatever, and it's like that's hilarious. But yeah, no, they go in, they start like trying to train these guys about finding their arcana, and that just seems just weird to me. Like
yeah, you don't have to explain their abilities; it just comes from training.
Yeah, I mean, you
don't have to explain it,
and you have to be chosen to get arcana and all this stuff, and it's just weird. I mean, they did have a lot of callbacks. Like I did see like there's a Native American guy who's they show like a picture of him as like a someone else on another tournament or whatnot.
He's one of the characters in the game. I did like that. I forget his name.
Like Night Wolf or something. I don't know.
Something like that.
But yeah, there was that like Lord Raiden was just. I mean, he wasn't bad. He just, yeah, yeah. That's what I felt the whole movie about the movie a lot. I did like the final fight scenes with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. So that was
I mean that was amazing. It was good.
But like following, was it Cody Young or whatever?
Cole
Young.
So yeah, that was the other. So now I'm supposed to believe that Cole Young. Trash Cole Young
beat Goro, who was a champion Mortal Kombat fighter.
I saw that, and I saw his arcana. I was like, so
I don't get it.
That's what you came up with.
That's the one that didn't make any sense to me, right? Like, so all the other ones are kind of it's like so they can blast something. Right? Or I guess like Kano's like Kung Lao's arcana is like controlling his hat, but like which is
well, at least you could say that's telekinesis, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sure. Yeah, but he uses hats like teleporter and all that other stuff, which was cool. But like his karna is what? And when he got hit, like was he absorbing things or not? Because like it showed it being red or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know. Like everybody, and this is the thing. His character should have been Johnny Cage. Well, this is the exact story arc, except that instead of being a trash fighter, Johnny Cage is actually a good fighter. He's just a trash actor, right? Yeah. So all he had to do was make it like, he's on his way out of Hollywood. He hasn't made a good movie in God knows how long. And.
Yeah.
something like that. Like this guy should have been Johnny Cage. Instead, you save Johnny Cage. You have a callback to Johnny Cage at the end in the poster.
Yeah,
It's like,
he said, "Yeah, I'm headed to Hollywood, so I guess there's gonna be a second one of these."
Of course, there was no tournament.
Yeah.
I like so. This was my thing about the movie. I think that it was a good starting point, but you know that you know exactly what they're going for is to build like a little Mortal Kombat universe, right?
Yeah.
So I felt like it would have been better if it felt like more of a self-contained story instead of like the obvious setup that it was. Mm-hmm. And then they did a horrible job choosing the main protagonist. Cole Young is trash. And, yeah, I'll say it again, like Cole Young is trash. Right?
Hashtag that shit.
Cole Young is trash. And but I did like the fight choreography, but it's just like the way they were staged. There wasn't anything that was like, oh my God, like who's gonna win this fight? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of the excitement kind of went away. Him knocking out Goro too was kind of like a meh, like really.
You don't knock out Goro? You don't do that?
Yeah. Also, the way Shang Tsung like didn't really do anything. He took Kung Lao's whatever.
His soul.
Yeah, his soul, right? But it makes me wonder why he didn't do more, right? Since he was so powerful, like to help the other or knock out the other Earth people. But yeah, who cares? We care so much about this movie right now.
Dominating conversation right now.
Yeah, very engaged in this movie. It's a video game movie. It had its moments. I honestly did not care for the story at all. Didn't understand like the whole Arcana thing. And I mean, I guess we'll see. Like Sonya Blade's story arc didn't. I mean, that was okay. It was okay.
I was okay with it.
I was like, yeah, it was okay. I thought they were being like a dick to her earlier for like no reason.
I mean, she didn't have the mark.
Yeah, but she helped find the guys. And like, is this mark thing really special? Like, how did Kano get the mark? Like, really? Come on.
It gets transferred. If you beat somebody with the mark, that means they weren't the strongest than you were. So you get it. I get that. I get that.
But Kano may have like accidentally. What if you accidentally kill somebody or shoot someone in the head? Like, how does that work, right? So
I don't even know. But so this is my thing about Kano too, right? Mm-hmm. In the game and in the other movie, he gets injured and he gets an implant.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's how he gets to the laser, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Not
this is my Arcana.
Reptile scratched my eye, and now and my Arcana now is to shoot lasers.
Yeah, it seems like their Arcana is outside of like Sonya's, which came out of nowhere. But
you can shoot rings.
Yeah, just shoot rings. Like, okay, that's random. But it seems like their Arcana came from like injuries, because I think like Cole Young, like he was scratched, and I think he had this impurity.
Don't try to explain it, man. That doesn't even make sense either.
You're right.
It doesn't even make sense.
Jax, he lost his arms, and then his Arcana became his arms. Okay.
I forgot to even talk about that because
Jackson's Arcana became his arms. And like, wait, what?
And when I saw that, because I was like, all right, you got your arms ripped off. That means that like, you go back to the government. The government, hey, we got.
That's what I thought too.
Boom, pow, you get your arms or whatever. No, you're gonna go to this monastery, and these monks who work for Raiden are going to somehow implant these metal arms on you. And what was sad, what was so sad, he was trying to punch the punching bag. He's like, I can't. I just can't. I was like, come on.
Oh my God.
First of all, you have a metal arm. So no, if you swing that thing hard enough, you're gonna hurt somebody. I mean, I don't care like if it's just like a little metal rod or
That's
not. Like
true.
that shit's gonna hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's fast forward to like the last part of the movie with the fight with Sub-Zero and and Scorpion,
Epic,
where Scorpion like
epic.
comes out and like from nowhere. I thought that was a pretty cool fight. You saw Sub-Zero like show some of his moves, right? Like the ice clone was there. There's a part where he cut like a Scorpion up and then he froze his blood and then like used it as a knife. I was like,
That was so hard right there.
I was like,
Yes.
what? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes. That was
Part where he
legit.
like stomps the floor, like makes an ice wall, then throws like Scorpion into it. I'm like,
That was legit, man. Yeah.
this okay. Okay.
There was genuine, like I was genuinely into the fight whenever they were on screen together. The other people, it's like, oh, I could literally look at my watch like, oh, it's not time for you to win yet. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
How many stars are we giving this out of 5? How many stars are we giving this out of 5?
No. 2. 2
I
and
was
a half.
gonna say 2. Yeah, I was gonna give it 2. No, I'm not giving it a half. I'm giving it straight.
2.5. I'll give it a 2.5. You get your 2.5 for me. Okay, and there goes our Mortal Kombat review.
And Godzilla versus Kong, I will also give 2 stars.
2 stars. All right, we heard it here.
Both of these movies are just popcorn movies that if I want something simple to watch, I'll watch it.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Okay, so now
Let's get us some good film. Let's get this a good show.
a good
Can we get
show.
the good stuff?
We're about to get into the show that I'm excited to watch. I wanted to talk about this since last week, since it came out, and finally get a chance to talk about it now. I wish I could like alert everyone on Facebook now to be like, we're talking about it right now.
Hey,
Captain,
tune in now. Tune
huh?
in now. I said tune in now.
Yeah, tune in now. We're watching Captain America and the Winter Soldier, right? Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So I got my notes, made them like an hour ahead. So yeah, let's get into this. So show starts off with Flag Smashers like attacking like wherever the Senate is in with the GCP or whatever, or GPC.
Yep.
And Flag Smashers start attacking those guys using smoke to like clear the area. Ball Track's there helping them out, and Bucky kind of then shows up with Sharon Carter also shows up as well, and she has that mesh mask. Now we know later on that she's the power broker, we think, right? Which is I have some questions about that. But she shows up as a male.
The mask. I hope the mask was also used in Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yes, it was used.
So,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was
Black
also
Widow
used in Agents of Shield too, but yeah, but she comes up as a male and whatnot. But yeah, she reveals herself. Like she kind of sneaks away back in there and whatnot, right? So then Sam comes in with his suit all decked out, right from the comics, right? And I think it's an amazing suit, right? Comes in busting, and is like starts taking out some Flag Smashers, and then the guy goes, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm Captain America." Like, I'm the captain now. I'm the captain now. Like,
He should have said that.
Yeah, no,
The captain now.
I'm the captain now. He goes, "I'm Captain America," and then the guy goes, "I thought Captain America was on the moon." Which
I love how they keep doing that. I wonder
if that's a subtle reference because Nick Fury is in like space now with swords.
Yeah.
So I wonder if like
maybe he put that out there.
Yeah, maybe he's up there with them. So, one thing to note too is that Captain America becomes like Captain America now. Becomes a mix of like Iron Man and Captain America, right? Where with the vibranium technology, and Captain America's moves ish kind of. He doesn't have the super soldier or whatnot, but yeah,
His take on it. Yeah.
yeah. but he fights Baltrock a little bit, kind of fights him to like a stalemate ish a little bit, but like ish.
He was struggling. He was definitely struggling.
Yeah,
Definitely struggling.
yeah, but so yeah, what happens is that like before that, the Flag Smashers, they're like taking all of the people involved in this vote and whatnot to like separate areas. One's going by plane, two by like the buses and whatnot. Um, Carly distracts Bucky with a phone call just so he doesn't get involved in like in saving him and whatnot, which I thought was just which pretty cool.
What I
Well,
like about that too is that you see Bucky use his brains a little bit. He keeps the phone and ends
yes.
up using it later.
Thank you for great call. Yeah,
I
he
like
keeps
that.
that phone. He keeps the phone. So yes, so yeah, Semi fights Baltrock, throws his shield. I love how he uses his shield, by the way, throws it, breaking the window and going out and catching and whatnot or whatever. Um and he goes to like save like the helicopter people. He saves like a policeman inside in the helicopter. And you see him like save the policeman, and then you see him like with the shield and his vibranium like shields like covering him in the policeman that he saved out of one of the helicopters, right? And the helicopter falls in it. That's actually a pretty cool scene, I
The
thought.
wing like create that dome
Yes.
like thing or whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
Nah,
Yes.
the helicopter chase scene was very well choreographed right
Yeah,
there.
I
I
liked it.
love that.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, I think Carly's able to get a couple of the senator people while Sam saves people in the helicopter. He identifies like a pilot with like his red wing technology, I guess.
That was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wakandans, man, they gave him lots of stuff.
Everything.
Hooked him
Everything.
up. Wakandans hooked him up, right? Saves the helicopter people with their so Johnny Walker. So I mean Johnny Walker. John Walker shows up. Johnny Walker. I should say cosplay Captain America shows up with a cosplay Captain America shield. Um, Goes up and like goes after Carly. Carly.
Mm-hmm.
um, and he's like Carly Morgenthau. It's time we finish this. And she's like, I'm sorry about a friend. He's like, I didn't mean to kill people who didn't matter.
He
And
handles them too.
yeah,
He
well,
handles
it's
them.
interesting. When he said, I didn't mean to kill people that didn't matter. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but Black Star, I think, was it Black Star is his name or his partner's name? Or do you remember? Uh,
I forget his name. I didn't think he had a code name.
it was
He
I
just
think it was
used
Black
his name.
Star or whatever. Um, anyway, he she said, well, I didn't mean to kill someone whose life didn't matter. He goes, his life mattered. And I wonder if that was like a Black Lives Matter reference. Maybe reading too much into that. Um,
I think you might
but
be a little bit into that one.
yeah, I might be reaching a little into that one. But yeah, they start fighting. He tries to throw the shield, like she like kicks it out the way. Like, it's not
But
vibrating.
it doesn't come back and you kind of see him look down like
Yeah, I mean, he made the shield with like his like metal Varner stuff. But anyway, but yeah, he starts fighting like the Flag Smashers and whatnot. Um, I think previously Carly tries to like set one of the buses on fire,
yeah.
and Bucky saves it. Actually, I need to go back a little bit, because when Bucky's distracted and like Sharon like chides him, like you had one job, right? One job, and she goes, "Yeah, sorry about that." And she kills like one of the Flag Smashers. She kills him with like a mercury, freaking like
Oh, that thing that like
yeah,
yeah.
like melts him. And I was like, "Damn, Sharon." So maybe she are a bad guy, like straight killing people like
He's
that.
hardcore, man.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, so she's definitely a bad guy because they don't really take down people like that, right? So,
Yeah. Well, I
uh,
hope they show a little bit more, whatever, if they do a season 2 or they do something. I hope they show a little bit more about why she took that path.
yeah,
Because I
I
think it
think
has something to do with like after Civil War, like all the main heroes, you kind of follow their path and you figure out like,
what
what
made
they
them.
decided to do. And they kind of held on to their heroic ideals,
Hmm.
regardless of whether or not they signed the Sokovian Accords. But
Yeah,
her was like, she helped them, but it was like it didn't matter to her government, and I wonder if did they also abandon her as well,
Yeah,
right?
so we'll get into some theories about that later. Like, they're definitely gonna be spin-off shows. And one of the shows is gonna be called, I think it's gonna be called Armor Wars, I think. So
Up
might be
with
involved.
Rhodey.
Yeah, with Rhodey, it might involve her. So okay, where am I? So yeah, cosplay. Captain America comes up with his cosplay shield. He fights the Flag Smashers. One of one of the buses gets saved. The other one, the Flag Smashers try to push off, and like John Walker likes fighting them, and then he has his like I guess his good guy moment, right?
Yep.
And he decides like to stop his like quest for revenge to try to save people. So he tries to save people. He gets stopped, but then the real Captain America, Sam, comes in and is able to save him with like his vibranium shield and like
The Red Wings
the
and
red
all of that.
wings.
Like, he was using everything to push that car there.
Yes, which is similar to like Captain America's like technology like in Spider-Man Homecoming, right, where he was like pushing the boat together. So
I mean, Iron Man's technology.
yeah, well, it was Iron Man's technology in Spider-Man's Homecoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I kind of mixes up there. So comes in, saves the hostages. So all right, so in the meantime, like so Sam, Bucky, and the new Sam, the Captain America,
West Agent.
US agent who will be named later, and Bucky chase after the Flag Smashers, right? Sharon runs into like Carly,
Yeah.
declare that she is the power broker, right? Um, and it's not surprising. Like in our last podcast episode, I thought it might have been the Mandarin, but it was pretty heavily like forecasted like Sharon. It wasn't like super. It wasn't like super.
It wasn't that much of a secret. But here's the question I had though: is did she make that up, or did she take it from somebody else?
That's a great question.
Right?
Great question.
Because Zemo knew who the power broker was, which leads me to think that he was expecting it to be someone else.
Yeah, and she never actually calls herself the power broker.
Right.
So maybe she's not the power broker. She probably is the power broker.
She's
the timelines don't make sense, right? Because you said Zemo knows who the power broker was. That means she would have known the power broker during Civil War time, and unless maybe she was the power broker during the Civil War. I don't know. Like
no, wasn't the power broker? Definitely wasn't the power broker.
Yeah.
It was afterwards.
So
but that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So those are great points though. So don't know. So yeah, she's the power broker. Batroc like comes in, is like, oh, you're the power broker. Where you're gonna pay me X plus this, or I tell everyone who you know, whatever. So she straight up kills.
I know he was dead. I know he was dead as soon as he said that.
Yeah, I mean, she straight up kills him. Which I mean, GSP. I wish he had like a better like. He was in Winter Soldier, right? I wish he had like more of a better death scene than that, like just getting knocked out by Sharon. But yeah, we saw that happening. I mean, it was clear that Sharon came over to the United States to shut the Flag Smashers up because they were out of control, and she didn't want like them to like tell everyone like who she really was and whatnot. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So yeah. And then Sam comes in and starts like so Carly shoots like Sharon. Sam comes in, starts fighting Carly now, and Carly's going after him, and she's like, she knocks him down, and like she goes, "Stay down." And he goes,
"No."
It's very reminiscent of Captain America. I do this all day and whatnot. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. And then
But I also like the fact that he didn't want to fight her, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it was like in this episode, you kind of, and one of the early, I think it might have been the one before it, you kind of see the qualities of why and the reasons why Steve Rogers like chose Sam to be the next Captain America, because he looks at the big picture, right? He's not motivated by revenge or trying to get somebody. He understands that like, hey, this girl needs help. I still want to help you. I don't want to fight you. I still want to help you.
Well,
So I
he's
thought that was
hopeful
dope.
and he
Yeah,
empathizes with her, right?
optimistic. Yeah,
So that's so funny that you say that. Um, well, it's not funny to say that, but like how he empathizes with like Harley is the same way in Captain not Avengers Age of Ultron, where he empathized with Wanda and Pietro Maximoff, right? Where how they were experimented on to save their country, how he was experimented on to save.
oh, Steve. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Steve, like when Maria here was like, I don't know what I mean, these guys must have been crazy to let them get experimented on. He goes, yeah, what's wrong with these guys, like experimenting with their getting tested on to like save their country, right? So you just
Yeah,
make a great similarity between Steve and then Sam, who empathized with her plight, right? Trying to save people. I think he said something earlier in the episode where it's like some like it depends on like who has the power or if they're like when like who are terrorists or whatnot or whatever. So
yeah,
I thought that was a pretty interesting, a very pretty interesting kind of set there. So
yeah,
anyway, to something that you called out earlier, so Bucky keeps the phone, right, and he uses it to trick the Flag Smashers, um, with um with fake Captain America, now U.S. agent, or and like he like quotes Lincoln or whatever. So I guess it's like a turnaround, right? Because he's not looking for revenge anymore, but like
right.
capturing these guys and whatnot. So that's a pretty good thing. So Sharon Carter kills Carly when she gets a chance, right? Because gotta kind of protect her brand or whatever. And the scene where like she kills like Carly and Carly tells Sam I'm sorry whatnot and she dies. And then Sam like brings her body, right? It was a very so that seems like very reminiscent. It's almost like an angel bringing her body like down.
Yeah,
Or I thought it was a Cain and Abel scene, right? You know the biblical story, Cain and Abel. You know this more about me. Where like the brothers like killing, like one kills the other, sacrifices the other, right? And it's like carrying his dead brother's body, and whatnot. So that scene also is reminiscent of that. You've played Batman Arkham City, right? Very similar
yeah.
scene with Batman.
Batman carrying the Joker out.
Yeah. So thought that was pretty interesting. And then Sam's speech, right? So Sam's speech, I have it his have it here. Sam's speech. He talks about how the governments in the world can do better. And this is actually the part. One of the things that I miss about the show too. So they have a lot of references, right? A lot of it with Sam being a black man and him what it means to take the shield or whatnot. Bucky with trying to get over his past in a sense, right? One thing
Yep.
that I was missing about the show is they were talking about also the refugee crisis as well, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of these people are being displaced, right?
Yep.
This government entity is trying to send or just relocate these people back home to where they came from, right? Kind of similar to how we're United States we have a border crisis right now with people trying to come in because of whatever's going on in their home, and kind of how people are just kind of treating them with disdain, right?
Yep.
And the Carly, the Flag Smasher um, group, like they're just fighting for these people and for all for everyone. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I kind of had that epiphany like when he was talking to them. I was like, man, I can't believe I missed that, right? So there's also kind of a lot of a refugee crisis reference as well. But he talks to like the government, these leaders of the government, right? Leaders of the government tried to like downplay him. Was like, you don't understand like what's going on. He goes, look, I'm a black man, um,
Wearing stars and
wearing the
stripes.
stars and stripes. Like, what don't I understand, right?
Yeah.
Like people are gonna hate me for it, whether I put it on or not, right?
Yep.
And um, he talks about how we use this is the part that stuck with me, right? Where he talks about how we use labels, terrorist, thug, refugee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we use those labels to avoid the question why, right? Why do these people do what things do, right? And the fact that Carly was willing to die for her beliefs, right? We need to ask those questions. Why is that, right? Instead of just
Yep.
throw a label on them and just um, say, well, because they're evil, right? That hits so hard today in today's world, right? Um, just how we use a label of terrorist or thug or even political
Yep.
terms, right? So instead of just asking the questions of why, like why people
Yep.
feel the way they feel, right? And trying to empathize on a certain level. So that's actually pretty cool. It actually, and I said I was going to bring this up. Um, the speech. So Joe Biden had a speech yesterday, State of the Union speech. I told you I was going to bring this up, and then Senator Tom Scott, right? That's his name, from South Carolina.
Tim Scott.
Yeah, from South Carolina, right? Says like America is not a racist country, right? And I'm not gonna go far to rebuttal him. I will just say we have.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes. You
will.
can follow him.
I will.
Yes.
I will say
That is
this.
dude. That is the worst statement.
Of course,
How can
of
you,
course. I'm gonna say
as a
this. We
black
have a
man in this
racist
country, say
past.
that?
We have a racist past. We still have. We still have Confederate statues up today that people aren't willing to take down, right? Who don't want to take down because they don't want to believe that those statues were built for racist purposes. They want to live in this bubble that we're not a racist country. And
Well, so hold on.
yeah,
So I I wouldn't. I'm not going to go so far as to say that the statues were built for racist purposes. That I
but
mean,
they
you could
were
probably
though.
argue that,
They
right?
were though.
I mean,
But they were though. They were to
I
they
have
were
to.
built to but they were built as propaganda to counter against the civil rights era, like
Okay.
the Confederate statues. They did.
So, but my thing is, I don't even have to like go to the statues and the the Confederate imagery.
Mhm.
You can go to the law books,
Yeah.
right? It's not about like the propaganda and the stuff that they do to to you know to mess with your perception of
Mm.
things. It's about the laws that they write, right? You say you're not a racist country, and yet you make sure that black neighborhoods are undervalued. You make sure that black neighborhoods, if it's a black area, you're not going to get the same funding for schools as you would in other areas. Your community isn't going to get the same funding as it would for other areas, so that it's dirty and undervalued. And then, when the gentrifiers come in with money and they make it so that people who live there can't live there, or the laws that were restricting people from voting, all this other stuff. If you just say like, oh, it's not a racist country, I guess because what, like, you were able to come up out of your situation and become a senator, like good for you. But what about all the people who haven't had that, who have been held down by the policies of this country? That's what makes it racist. And then
Yeah.
and then you look at the people who are here who refuse to see you as an equal because of the color of your skin. It's in your DNA. They literally taught that. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So for him to say that, it's like I just wonder like who wrote that speech, and then what kind of person could he be to actually go on air and say those things? And you know what they were doing by making sure that
A
a
black guy
black
said it.
person said
Yeah,
it.
of course. I mean,
It's like,
it's a cater to the fragile white people that want to believe in this idea that we're not there yet, right? Like so Amanda Gorman.
if you need an Asian hate crime bill, you live in a racist country.
There you go. That's perfect. We just had to pass an Asian hate crime bill because of this, right?
Right. And it
So
makes me wonder why. I mean, I know I'm going off in a tangent. I'm sorry.
no, you're
But
good.
like, why just call it an Asian hate crime bill? Why wouldn't it just be a hate crime bill? Why does it have to be just? I haven't read the bill on it,
Yeah,
obviously, and maybe the name of it is because it recognizes that it's a result of like what's going on right now. And it's called like the Asian hate crime bill because
yeah,
of the crimes committed against those people. But I mean,
yeah. I'm
you
not
know,
sure about the details of that later, but switching back to Captain America, the Sam is speaking truth to power, right?
yes.
Obviously, Tom Senator Scott was not doing that, but Sam's actually speaking truth to power here,
Yes.
asking and him acknowledging like, look, I'm a black man, right? People are gonna hate me for wearing the stars and stripes, right? And I'm willing to kind of fight that fight. He said this in like in the last episode because of all the people that's been sacrificed and whatnot. So
Yep.
that's kind of where I wanted to go with that. Um, so yeah, and of course his speech gets like video cast and like Isaiah Bradley like shows him, and I think his son is also shown in this as well. So I thought that was actually pretty cool as well. But yeah, him being a black man speaking truth to power, speaking his truth, right? And just giving some insight, right? Making him
Yeah.
like this makes him like worthy of Captain America because he can actually empathize with some of people who were discriminated against, right? Or and whatnot, right? So I think one of the things that he said during that speech too was that yeah, so here I am, no superpowers, no blonde hair, no blue eyes, right?
Uh,
Um, Captain America, I'm just here to fight, right? And I love how they cut to like John Walker when he said that when he kind of like bowed his head a little bit, because that's the reason why he was
yeah.
blonde hair, blue eyed guy. Um, so yeah, I thought that was actually pretty cool. So yeah, they go their separate ways. Like John Walker like goes their separate ways. Bucky like congratulates him and whatnot. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. He says, "Good job, Cap," which I thought was really cool. Uh,
Yes. Yes.
so all right, moving on a little bit. Zemo's butler kills the Flag Smashers.
I thought that was good, man. I
Yeah,
thought that was good.
like right when the guy puts him in like the bus, he goes, "One world, one people, whatever," and then boop, explosion. So yeah, and
I don't think I got the last laugh.
yeah, Zemo hears about this on like the raft, right? And it makes me wonder if like Zemo's gonna be part of like a new like the anti-Avengers or like whatchamacallit, the Thunderbolts.
I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it.
possibly that happened. Um, so yeah, then it cuts to Val. So Val says, "Oh, looks like a buddy Zemo had the last laugh. Maybe I helped him out, or maybe I didn't, or maybe I did, maybe I didn't." So I don't know. I think she probably
She
helped
did good. She
him.
did. She has some great lines in there. I love that.
Yeah. She I think she's gonna possibly try to start up like either like the Dark Avengers or the
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolt or whatnot. So I thought that was pretty cool. You see John Walker as U.S. agent in this new his darker like suit, which I thought was pretty cool. It's straight out from the
It's the
comic.
same,
It's
but
the same,
black.
it's the same but black, right? Which is interesting because Sam's suit is more white, which is
Right. Right.
but I think it just shows like Sam's in the light, John Walker's in the dark or whatever. But he also says something interesting like things are about to get weird, right? So
Yeah.
this has a lot of like references. Uh, is it like the Secret Invasion? Because there are references to like the
Yeah.
what's the not the Creed, but the scrolls like infiltrating Earth for some reason, but they're thought to be good guys. So I don't know why. So yeah, so there's that. Was it a multiverse of madness thing? I don't know what's about to get weird. So that's gonna be pretty interesting to see how that goes. So yeah, um, Bucky makes amends with his therapist. He finally confronts like the Asian guy. Tells him who kills his he killed his son and whatnot. So that was a big
I really liked his story
yeah.
arc. Because he went from being a hero to being a villain, kind of losing his mind, losing himself,
Mhm.
trying to come back from that, dealing with all the trauma that his past has caused him. Now, like, not only has he redeemed himself, but he's become something of a therapist, right? He's been helping people
Yeah.
and talking to people, right?
Yeah.
I really like what they did with his character.
Yeah. So yeah. Isaiah Bradley scene. So Sam goes to visit Isaiah Bradley, which I think is awesome. And he goes,
I love that part.
yeah, I love that whole part of that. Um, he's talking about so Isaiah Bradley says, so Black Captain America, right? And he goes, damn right. Which by the
Yeah.
way, we missed this part earlier where Sam was saving the bus that was falling, and when he saves them, people were like, "Yeah, is that Black Falcon?" And he goes, "Nah, that's Captain America."
Yep. Yep.
Yes. Which by
I
the way,
like that.
yeah, I might have to get a invest in finding a Captain America suit for Halloween.
I don't know, man. There's a lot to that suit, man.
There is a
So
lot to that suit. I was looking up actually Captain America shields right when that show came out. So they're expensive. Well, I mean there's some cheaper ones, but I want like a metal one, and you can as you can imagine like a metal one would be expensive.
yeah,
Um
yeah.
but yeah. So yeah. Sam's talking to Isaiah Bradley. Isaiah Bradley's like, yeah, you know Malcolm or Mandela or all these like great civil rights leaders. I mean, that's fine, but you get to stand on these. He gets to stand on their shoulders, which is the point, right? You stand on these shoulders, like they've laid the work to kind of let you do what you do, right?
Yep.
Um, and I think that's a very very powerful scene. Then he takes Isaiah Bradley and his like nephew, which will probably be like a young patriot in the future, or whatnot. We'll see.
Yep.
To the
To
museum.
me,
So
yeah.
yeah, so it seems like Captain America has some clout now, right? So he's able to get this monument resurrected for him, so people will never forget, right? And it's like him like showing
I
that.
love that part, man. I was like, pulled at the heartstrings right there. Very
Yeah.
much.
Oh, some interesting thoughts. Some interesting thoughts from a little bit of research or video that I saw. So the neighborhood, so that neighborhood, they're supposed to be in Baltimore, but that scene was actually shot in Atlanta, right? And that neighborhood that they shot it in is the same neighborhood that that Martin Luther King was born in, right? They actually
Wow.
showed they actually showed the house in episode 2 and episode 5, right? I think episode 5 or episode 6, I'm not sure. They showed the house where he was born, right? So it's actually visible. So I thought that was actually pretty interesting, right? So
Yeah, that's so.
yeah, same neighborhood that MLK was in. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. There's the family cookout scene, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yep.
Um, love that scene. Especially it being like kind of like a New Orleans feel and whatnot. Bucky's showing off, like talking to people, showing off his arm and whatnot, and like kids
I
were like,
thought that was cool. It was like,
I thought that was, yeah, I thought that was like really really cool. It's good to say he's good to see him interact with people and be happy too.
yeah,
Like a nice happy area. So I would love to see him and Sam and Bucky work together in the future. We'll see. Um, last scene, Sharon Carter. We can get into this. So she gets a full
this
party,
lady.
right? You see her like get that little like weird look at the camera at the end, like like she knows she's up to like no good or whatever, and like she gets on the phone immediately. Is like we may not have like the super soldier, but we can have like all these like cutting edge technology, whatever. So this could possibly lead to armor wars, right? With like the technology.
I think so. I think so.
Um,
Because the government, well, I don't know. Never mind.
yeah.
How about I say the government does the War Machine armor, but Tony Stark took that over. So.
Yeah, but like this is kind of what I chat with a little bit more. So why did she? I didn't want her to be the power broker, even though it's kind of obvious that she was. Um, I was a little sad that she was. Like, why did she turn to the power broker? It's good to. It would be good to like see, like you said earlier, see that story arc of what turned her. Let's face it, what happened after Civil War, right? They were on the run.
Yeah.
Like Steve was on the run, but I'm surprised that Steve didn't reach out to like Sharon Carter, right?
You would think that he would.
Yeah, you think that he would. So maybe Steve isn't as. I mean, he did make out with her, then like goes home to like live a life.
Just because he kissed her doesn't mean he owns
That was
her.
a passionate kiss. It was a passionate kiss. He
Oh
said,
my
"Sorry,
god.
it took too long," and she goes, "Damn right." And then that's it. That's it.
But that's so I would give this series like I would give this series 5 out of 5
Yeah.
if it wasn't for some of those missing storylines. So you have how she became power broker, and then like the flag smashers were pretty much just like your run of the mill terrorist group.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't really know why they became what they became.
I will say this: the story was changed because of the pandemic, right?
I read that. I
So
heard that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so there was a subplot about a pandemic, like in like episode one where like Bucky like jumps inside like the 18-wheeler, like those were vaccines that we like that they're supposed to give to like the poorer people and whatnot.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so they eventually changed. Like there was a lot of changes, um, a lot of redubbing, and like they had like a totally different story. Well, not a totally different story, but they removed like a subplot. So I don't know what that story would have been, but yeah, I would have liked to see it. I would like to know why Sharon would turn to evil like that, even considering
Yeah.
like her mom was is Peggy Carter. Her mom was like one of the
He
founders of
was.
Shield,
She was. Yeah. She was. She
right?
established.
And
She.
like what the senator said in the show is like the card name is like is synonymous with like patriotism and truth and honor and whatnot. So it's interesting to see her like see that change for her. So a little
Yeah.
disappointing, but yeah. Also, lastly, we just announced this. They're going to be making a Captain America 4 that stars
I
Bucky.
did hear that.
So I am
Bucky and Sam.
I think Sam might be in it. Yeah, I didn't know if Sam was going to be in it or not, but Bucky's definitely going to be in it.
You
Uh,
can't call it Captain America without having Captain America.
yeah, well, Bucky's going to, well, I'm not, yeah, Sam. I don't know why I said Bucky. Why I said Bucky? Yeah, so it's going to be Captain America with Sam in it.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for catching me that.
Captain America starring Bucky.
Yeah.
Bucky Barnes.
And we're recording live on this, so love. So, yeah, so it was Captain America. Sam's going to be in it. I don't know if Bucky's going to be in it. I'm super excited about that. That's gonna be dope. I know the character Anthony Mackie wanted to be Black Panther, but
Really?
yeah, he went out to be Black Panther, but
Hmm.
with this one, and I think this serves him well. So
Yeah.
good
I'm
stuff.
still I'm still dealing with the fact that they're not recasting the role for Black Panther. I still get a little upset about that.
Yeah,
So I think and I think that I think Bucky Barnes will probably feature in Black Panther 2 somehow.
he could.
For sure.
White Wolf.
I really think he will. I think that's because it's going to focus. I think the movie is going to focus on some of the other characters, obviously. So I think since he has that connection, I think he'll be there. But I keep on reading these articles about like how the actors from the movies, like this feels right. I feel it's the right energy. I feel balance is the right spiritual decision not to recast. I'm like, no, you need it. You need a black male hero like that so bad.
I think
But
they'll think of it this way though, and I for the most part agree with you. Like it would have been. I think they should have recast as well. Um, it makes me wonder if they would be setting that person up to fail because he'd be like a new guy in, right? They became like a family, and I guess he'll be so obviously like out of place. Maybe that's possibly a thing. Um, I'm not sure. Um, I would have liked to see him cast a black male, a recast, simply because how many times have we seen Superman recast? How many times have we seen Batman recast? How many times we've seen
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man recast? How many we've seen so many other superheroes recast? We don't have to limit ourselves to. And look, Chadwick Boseman
He
was
did an amazing job.
was phenomenal. He was phenomenal, but it's not disrespectful to recast him. But I mean, look, I trust that they're gonna do good with the do right by the next movie. Um, we'll see like what happens. Um,
Yeah.
if you're looking for your black male superhero, we have Captain America now. So
We always get our one, right?
we got our one.
You get one.
But yeah, we shall see. But yeah, I give this a 5 out of 5. Like this series touched so many points for me.
For sure.
Like especially like Sam's speech when he talked about labels to use to answer to avoid answering the question why. I wish a lot of us would take that to heart, right? And try to
Yeah.
understand and try to empathize with people, right? Instead of just easily labeling them as terrorists, right? Or refugees or whatever. And really just talking about, for me, the the current refugee crisis, right? That's happening at our border. Um the the Black Lives Matter movement, right? That's happening now. Like you see people against them, like try to call them socialists or communists or terrorists or and all sorts of things because they don't want to get down to the nitty gritty, right? So I really I really appreciated that. I mean, this it hit home. It hit home a lot, and I think it also shows the importance of having diverse characters, right?
For sure.
Um, it's super important to have a diverse character so we can reach out to other people and give you different perspectives, right? So I hope people take it to heart and watch the film. I did hear some conservative media try to like bash parts of the film, parts of the movie, but that's what they do. Um,
Oh yeah. There's always
yeah,
something.
yeah, always something that they try to put up. Also, I heard that the Rotten Tomatoes for the last episode was like the lowest one, which doesn't make any sense to me. But
You know how people be trying to influence Rotten Tomatoes scores.
yeah, this is also true. Very true. Um, yeah, I mean, Rotten
Famous.
Tomatoes. I definitely don't take it as seriously as I used to in the past, especially with
No.
some of the movies that they reviewed. It's like really, but yeah, I thought it was a very good series, and I
Yeah,
cannot
I agree.
wait to see what they come with next. I cannot wait till someone creates a Black Captain America suit. Actually, one of my friends pinged me and was like, "Uh, can you become Black Captain America? Can you become the Captain America? I'll be your Red Wing."
That's why. That's why you said that because somebody already made a costume. That's what it sounds like.
Well, no, they haven't made a costume yet. I've actually been looking on Amazon. It hasn't been made yet, but when it gets made, I'll be buying it. Regardless of how much it costs. Would be overly priced, but whatever. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
but yeah, I'll definitely buy that. So yeah, I am. It's a good show. It's been a while since a show like that's made me feel that way,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I agree.
I hope to see more of stuff like that. And I hope other people are able to watch it and appreciate it as much as I did. So like diversity works, and I just liked how smart they were. Right? It just wasn't like a black guy just saying like stereotypical things, right? But there was a real understanding of what he goes through and whatnot, right?
Yep.
So, and that it's going to be different. You just can't hand, a black man the shield and just be like, yeah, everything's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be,
Well, that's pretty much what Steve and Bucky did, right?
yeah, right? They didn't know, but they learned, right? It's like, we didn't know what it meant to give it to a black man, but it's like, it's going to be fine. You're good. You're good. We're not a racist country. Here it is. Here's your shield. Um, so, um, yeah, that's pretty much that, man. That's all I got for.
I had a question for you since we were talking about video game movies, right? And you were
Yeah,
saying that most of them aren't that good. What's your favorite video game based movie?
that's a tough one. Oh my god. Maybe the first Mortal Kombat. I heard Sonic was good. I have not watched that yet, but I heard that was actually a pretty good movie.
It was. That's what I
Um,
was gonna say.
so also what I thought was actually a decent movie. I mean, it wasn't a great movie, but it was a pretty decent video game movie. Was the latest Tomb Raider movie, right? The very last Tomb Raider movie. They made it
Oh,
off
that
of
one.
it
I
was
actually like the first Tomb Raider movie a little better.
what with
Angelina Jolie. I like that one. I did like that one.
what
I
was the
like
thing in
that.
that one? I mean, there were the first one was okay. The second one was complete trash. Um, like it was just horrible.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
reboot, I thought it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. They made it. I don't know if you played the game, the Tomb Raider game, like the Tomb Raider Rises again, or
Yeah, yeah. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, I played one of the newer
Rise of
ones.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was a great game.
It was a good game. It was on PS4. It wasn't old. It was one of the later ones,
Yeah.
but it was
Yeah.
a great game. So I thought that was decent. Um, I watched Dead or Alive recently. That was trash. Oh my god. I mean, I only watched it because I just needed a good laugh. So
Sometimes that's why you put stuff on, man.
yeah,
Those
so I needed a
those
laugh.
old school fighting movies like that, they're just trash.
Yeah.
Straight trash.
I don't. Yeah, that's a good one. I have to. We should probably do a list.
I feel like we should between Mortal Kombat, Sonic the Hedgehog, and I mean, if we're counting the anime or animated ones, I could do the animated Street Fighter movie. That was actually pretty good. I still watch that today.
Or the animated Street Fighter movie. Well, okay. Let's not count animated ones because I thought that was. I actually watched that one the 2 nights ago. Like going to sleep. It's really good. The animated Street Fighter movie. I watched the animated Street Fighter show too. Street Fighter V.
That was good, man.
That was a really good show, right?
That was good.
Street
That
Fighter.
was back in the days where you could do all the torrents and the Napsters and all that.
Well, you can
I
still do that now,
downloaded
actually.
all of that.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, the Street Fighter 2 V one was actually pretty funny. It was pretty cool. I remember back in the Blockbuster, right? Uh, me and my younger brother, we didn't have much money, but we kept renting like the Street Fighter 2 V, and they only had like one like a VHS cassette taste. So they only had like
Oh,
episodes of it right on there, and we kept renting that one like cassette because we liked it so much. We rented like so many times, right?
you wore it out, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, then the Napsters and BitTorrents came along, and we could see the whole thing, right? Because we didn't have access to
Yeah.
all the episodes, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean there's some good with that kind of stuff, but yeah, no, the first Street Fighter was good. Maybe I'll check out Sonic the Hedgehog one day. All the other ones I'm turning up to be a blank, like
Yeah.
as a good one. Need for Speed was trash. Um, um, yeah, I might have to Google. I might have to Google that to kind of understand it. But oh well, cool. Well, it's 10 o'clock. You got anything else for us?
Nope. Thank you for watching, everyone.
Yes.
We'll be back next
What will
week.
be next? What's next?
Well, you know, I mean, if you follow this podcast, you know that we mention, or we talk about what we're going to talk about next episode. It usually changes, and you can blame See No More for
What? What? Whatever. I just
because we'll say
pulled up-
something, and then one of you guys will be like, "So what are we talking about on the podcast? This, and this," and then there'll be some debate, and it'll be something like we didn't even plan on.
That's BS because I would sometimes say this is what we're gonna talk about, and then you guys would change it up on me and be like, "What did we say that?" And I'll have to scroll all the way up and be like, "This is when we said it, motherfucker." So
That's usually I usually don't initiate that though. I usually just be like, I just ask for confirmation.
yeah, Well, whatever.
But
I just googled video game films, right?
uh,
Here's some random ones. Resident Evil, um, Super Mario Brothers trash, Street Fighter trash. Detective Pikachu, I heard that was a good one too. Actually, I haven't
I
watched.
did hear about Detective Pikachu. I want to watch that with my daughter actually.
Yeah, so I heard that was a good one. Warcraft trash. We talked about Sonic the Hedgehog. Um, Doom.
Assassin's Creed wasn't that good. Doom,
Oh, Assassin's Creed was trash. Prince of Persia. Remember that one?
trash.
Yeah,
You know
trash.
what though? Guilty pleasure. I did like the Hitman movie. I did like the Hitman movie.
Which one? They had two of them.
The one, yeah, I think it was the first one with Timothy Oliphant. I think he played Hitman.
Huh.
And he had to rescue. I don't know. I think she was Russian or something. But I like that one. The second one was he was kind of just like he was almost like the Terminator, and they're just all like fighting each other and doing all this crazy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there are a couple of other movies that are coming out. Oh, looks like they're coming out with the Tomb Raider 2, I think. That's shocking. Do you know
Well, they're
what
supposed to be coming out with an Uncharted movie,
Yes.
which I'm looking forward to.
Tom Holland is supposed to be play like um Drake, right? So I haven't
Don't really like the casting.
Yeah, I
Don't
haven't
really.
played any of the Uncharted games, and I kind of want to. If they ever remade them for like PS4, PS5, I'll play it, right? Like I had one of the Uncharted games, and I never just got around to playing it. Like it's on like just for like
Pretty
PS4.
sure they have, man. I'm pretty sure they have.
So I may check it out then if they remake it. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have. But they're all good. Like there isn't a weak game amongst them. They're all good.
okay.
They're like playing movies. Good.
Yeah, well, it's like Metal Gear Solid. So which are going to be making a Metal Gear Solid game, it looks like. Of course they are. Um which I think is going to be crap if they tried. But yeah, okay, well, let's call it. So,
All right, people.
thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Catch us next episode.